It's the end of the day with Ray. Man, look who I got in the intersection today of that digital and physical world. I got Eric McCann from Lexmark at Lexmark headquarters. How are you doing, Eric?
Hey, Ray, I'm great. It's a pleasure to join you today.
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, if I'm going to talk to some Lexmark folks, I got to have my A4 Revolution hat on. I think it'll make the conversation go much better. But Eric, I got to ask you a question. Tell my friends out there, what are you doing for Lexmark? We're going to talk about cloud services, but give us a feel for what you do at Lexmark.
Yeah, so Ray, I manage our software marketing division. So we manage all the Lexmark branded software from mobility, security, productivity solutions, and our cloud services.
Sweet. This cloud service platform that Lexmark has, I've talked a little bit about that before, but I got to tell you something, folks. It's a phenomenal product for predictiveness, for really helping dealers be proactive and customers. But tell me real quick, what makes this different from all the other cloud platforms we hear about? Where does Lexmark, what's the differentiator between Lexmark and everybody else from a customer's point of view, the end user, not the dealer at this point?
Yeah, that's a great question. So our plan is to have a true multi-tenant cloud from the ground up architected to be cloud first. This is not a premise-based tool that we put in the cloud. It's a cloud first technology that's built to scale, built to adapt, and built to grow. We continue to add new services. We continue to expand it. And from a customer or partner standpoint, it's a matter of get on board with us now and watch it grow.
So theoretically, I'm thinking of an application. I try to think about how I might use this. Let's say that I'm a franchise business. I have 40 or 50, stores, whatever you want to call them, restaurants. If I looked at doing a print management program, store by store, it's low-hanging fruit, not really anything exciting there. But if I'm looking at my franchise customers that I manage and I'm saying to myself, if I'm delivering ECMs to them on a global platform through the cloud, why don't I deliver print to them, which could make these individual accounts that dealers might run into up and down the street. Well, if the headquarters was in their town, they could actually deliver print as a service to low-hanging fruit, making a small print management into an enterprise print management. Is that correct? Can we do that?
Absolutely. So the beauty of the true multi-tenant cloud is there's no premise-based infrastructure you have to install. So for us in a distributed network or a franchise model like that, you'd be able to onboard each one of those franchises into the cloud with no infrastructure required. You'd walk in, configure the solution to the cloud, and walk away. Wouldn't matter if it was a single franchise with one device or a location with hundreds of devices. It's the same for us.
So that's sweet. So around the country, you'd have your co-op with dealers to help maybe install that, obviously, if you did a big national enterprise type of an account. But it gives that end user the ability to connect into the cloud services without any infrastructure on site. It's all in the cloud.
That's right.
So how does that happen?
The benefit there is mobility, right? Users are wanting to print from their mobile devices, but very rarely are the mobile devices on the corporate network. With this, they just need a cellular connection or a mobile connection out. And the web service is public. So from there, they can submit jobs from anywhere in the world and release them on any of those devices in any location.
Well, this is really awesome. So let me ask you, if I'm a dealer and I'm on this cloud platform, how does it help me be proactive and manage some of the service activity around the MFPs that I have out in the field?
Absolutely. So the beauty of the cloud is the multiple services that comes with it, right? You have the print management service that you talked about, which is the secure follow me print release you get. But you're also getting full access and remote capabilities for those devices, from page counts to firmware updates to service, even the ability to put a message down to the device that a service technician is on their way out to service that device.
Oh, that is really cool. So they can do that right from the dispatch center.
That's right. The portal allows them to do all that without ever leaving the site.
Well, I got to tell you, I know some dealers that are on this, and they really talk a lot about it as being very different from what the other manufacturers offer, so that's pretty cool. So let me ask you a question about the security thing. That always comes up. So your cloud platform is just secure as anybody else's. It's in the cloud. How are we getting that stuff secure? How are we keeping it secure?
That's right. We use full encryption on the way up and full encryption on the way down. We use industry standard hosting providers around the world, and the beauty of this being an enterprise class solution is we can scale it to the smallest customer to the largest customer.
Which is interesting because it makes those small managed print services that I'm pretty critical of. You've heard me talk about that. But it allows you to look in your marketplace for some of these corporations that might have small by themselves, but if you can bring them all together as one, and that gives you a tool to bring them all together, that's pretty interesting. Do you have any real home run success stories you could share with us?
Probably the biggest being, we have a partner that uses our solution. They have a franchise model like you described. It's a wireless provider that has a little over 120 stores.
Sweet.
partner services with them, and before they had no way to remotely manage those devices. With our tool, with no infrastructure required, they can go in and now they can provide basic print services to those devices without worrying about what network they're connected or how they're enrolled.
Man, that's really cool. And I know that you guys have some case studies on the web that they can look at and stuff. I got to tell you something, dealers. First of all, you know, when I picked Lexmark to start my A4 revolution, I did it because they got the products, they're customer centric in their mindset. They don't have an A3 quota, by the way. But they also have this huge cloud infrastructure, which I think is a great benefit to helping dealers be different in the marketplace. Well, Eric, I got to tell you, you know, I appreciate the time we had here today, and I'll look forward to talking to you again because I know you handle a lot of the different software applications for Lexmark, and you guys are constantly, you know, reinventing yourselves and bringing new stuff to market. So we'll look forward to hearing more from you. My friends, I'm going to end this like I always do. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo. Have a fantastic day.